Hey, everybody.
Hey.
Going on?
Man, we've got a great show tonight.
We do.
We've got a special
Definitely.
guest. So tell us a little bit about what's coming up this weekend, sir, before we bring our guest on.
Well, of course, considering our special guest that's on,
Exactly.
this weekend, November 15th, in Salem, Massachusetts, Old New England, we have the Salem Paranormal and Horror Convention. It's going to be at Salem State University, the South Campus on Harrison Road. We're going to be joined by some horror guests and also all your paranormal peeps out there. Going to be a lot of vendors. It's going to be such a good time. I am so excited for it, especially at this time of the year, because this is the crispy time of fall. This is where it really like sinks in that it's just such a beautiful season. We're glad to bring you some more spooky stuff. I know Halloween's supposedly over, but you know us in the industry, it never ends for us. So
Halloween's inside. We're just all a little spooky.
Oh yeah.
Always spooky.
Always. I've got one of those too. Gwen gave it to me. It's so cute.
Mhm.
So before you introduce our guest, can I play his intro?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
All right, here it comes.
Oh yeah.
All right, I'm going to bring him in, Mr. James Murtaugh.
Well, hello there.
Hello.
There he is.
That impressed me, I'll tell you, looking at that. that can't be me, can it?
That's you.
It's me.
That's all you.
Yeah.
I love the opening of the show also. My God. I mean, the array of people you have coming to this event
Yeah.
is absolutely astounding. I am truly excited about going. I have never been to one.
Oh,
I've had a couple of slight paranormal experiences, but I've never been to one. And I've read up on a number of the people, and they all sound fascinating. I wish I still had my pet, because you have a pet psychic, I believe.
Yeah.
Yes. Anybody with a pet is going to certainly want to talk to him, I'm sure.
Oh, yes. He helped
Yeah.
me connect with one of mine that had passed away, and I had some questions, and he was able to answer with startling accuracy.
No, wow. That's incredible.
Yes.
Yeah, I went to a magic show this weekend in New York called Speakeasy Magique. And they had an array of some of the best magicians and mind readers in the country. And what they rotate. You're sitting at gambling tables, it's like a speakeasy. And then the magicians and performers rotate and sit and do their various acts. And one was a mind reader, and he asked this woman who her crush was. You can think of a crush that you had. Think of she was married, but she had a crush on somebody years ago. And so was it in fourth grade? And she said, yes, it was. And is there a letter T in the name? And she said, yes. So he wrote down a name, then he asked her the name, and she said Peter, and he turned over the card and it said Peter.
What? Oh my gosh.
Oh my God. It went, oh my God.
It's funny that you say that, Jim, just because the Salem Paracon you're going to be at's coming up. That a couple of years ago, we had the amazing Kreskin here at the Salem Paracon. So I know, being from the New England area, New York area, you know who the amazing Kreskin is. But the thing was I know he was a little, of course, older at the time, and believe it or not, that was his last performance, was at Salem Paracon.
No kidding. Oh,
Yeah. So we're very, we're sad to see him had passed, but we're kind of like, that kind of puts some kind of thing on the Salem Paracon as just like one of those memory things, I guess, that will have and all that. So, which is nice.
Yeah. Someone of that credibility and talent. Yeah. Oh, is quite worthy of your event.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's always fun, but
yeah, sure.
A lot of big reasons why we had not only Salem Paracon, because our show's called Our show's called Serial Killers, Supernatural, and Murders. So, and I know you've been on a lot of the police TV shows over the years,
Yeah.
some crime movies and all that. And
Yes.
let us know, what was one of your like favorite shows to be on that kind of has that theme to it?
That theme to it. Well, one
Yeah.
that I did had a major role in, actually. I've done a number of them. I was in the TV series Evil. I don't know if you know that show.
Oh, I love that. I love that show. I actually remember you on it too.
Was on it. The scene I had, unfortunately, they shot it from the point of view of the children from they were up on the steps. And I kept saying, are you really covering me? You're covering me. And then I saw it. Oh, you kind of missed me. But then they brought me back as the devil.
Yeah.
And I was attacking the nun, played by Andrea Martin.
Mhm.
That was a horrible scene to watch. That I was the devil in that scene. So but the movie I did was called The Rosary Murders.
Yeah.
It was a fascinating film. Wonderful. I mean, Charles Durning and Donald Sutherland and I forget who the author was right now, from Detroit. I played this guy who killed priests and nuns.
Oh,
It was really strange. And I go to the confession with Donald Sutherland as the priest, and I confess that not Damon Runyon, I forget the damn author. And I confessed to him what happened, that I was molesting my daughter, and but I had gone to a priest earlier and confessed, and they did nothing about it. This time, Donald Sutherland had told him what I was going to do, but he couldn't do anything about it because of the vow of silence and the confession.
yeah.
But he traced me down and found out who I was. He wasn't sure because when he opened the door, I was gone. But I told him what I was going to do, and he knew these. And sure enough, I would kill priests and nuns based on the rosary and the sacraments. And Charles Durning was Father Neighbors, so he was kind of worried because honor thy neighbor, love thy neighbor as thyself. He knew he was next, and the Sister Honoria. So that's how but it was a really scary. You didn't see me until the end of the movie, and it was a very thrilling scene actually, and a scary movie. I did a John Carpenter film.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It was actually a TV movie. It was supposed to have been a film with Lauren Hutton called Someone Is Watching Me, sort of the scary Rear Window. It was really creepy, creepier than actually Rear Window. But it turned into a TV movie. It was a 2-hour TV movie. So that was, but the Rosary Murders was probably and the Howling, of course.
Yeah.
The Howling was, it's a classic. You know, having Rob Bottin doing the special effects.
Oh, yeah.
The pneumatics, the face coming out all in one shot. And the face, we had to do life masks also for that movie. And the guy in front of him was a big hulking football player. They put the thing all over his face. All of a sudden, he starts screaming and ripping it off. And he runs over to the outside of the house, onto the balcony. I thought he was going to throw himself off the balcony, actually. He was so frightened. So it was my turn. I said, well, that's not going to happen to me. So they put 2 straws in your nose and cover your entire face with plaster. And all you're breathing through are the 2 straws in your nose.
Oh, that's claustrophobic, right?
They said, now we're going to take. And I said, I'm okay. I can deal with this. I'm just meditating through it. And then they shifted to take it off, and they couldn't get it off, and it covered my nostrils because they pulled the straws out first. It covered, and I couldn't breathe. And now I'm like this big football player panicking. And I can't breathe. And then they finally just kind of ripped the whole thing apart. So they never did a life mask of me. So they didn't know who they were going to turn into vampires with that special effect. So that's why many of us had the life mask. But when they got to me, they gave me the teeth, and they wanted to give me these contact lenses from 1948. They were like Coke bottles. And I said, I don't know. I kind of like my eyes the way they are. Nice eyes. People compliment me on the eyes, and I'd like to kind of keep them. They said, well, no, everybody's got to wear the Coke bottles. I said, well, let me talk to the actors that wore them before me. So they took me to their trailer where they were shooting on location up in the Redwood Forest in Northern California. That was really creepy. There were 3 actors that had to use these and they had beefsteaks on their eyes, beefsteak covered in beef. And they said, don't do it. Don't do it. If you can get out of it, don't do it, because it's like sand in your eyes. So I rolled my eyes like that, under the vein of the teeth. And I said my famous line. You remember what the line was? Silver Bullets My Ass.
Nice.
I'm holding Dean
Yeah.
Wall, and what that Dugan is saying, stand back, I have silver bullets. And I said, silver bullets my ass. And
That's awesome.
I didn't think anything of it. I came back to New York. I'm walking down the street, and some guy's driving by in his car. He goes, hey, silver bullets my ass. You know?
That's when you know. That's when you know after all these years of doing it. That's when you know you made it, when they're
That's when
repeating
you
the
know you
lines.
made it. My God, I got an iconic line. Everybody wants to watch a movie. You looking at me?
So when people ask you for an autograph, do you sign your name and then put silver bullets my ass?
That's what I do. That's
Yeah.
what they have a banner that we'll have it at the event. Yeah, I got
There you
silver.
go.
That's all
Yeah.
I'm known for. Silver bullets. My ass.
Oh, you're noted for a lot more things. Just so you know, just kind of, I don't know how you feel about it, but one of the things I do all the time, no matter what it is, when I have it,
Yeah.
I like to put A1 sauce all over everything I got. So,
Uh-huh. Thank
Yeah.
you. Yes.
and I know you did all the commercials, especially for me, you know, growing up in the 70s and 80s. I don't want to date myself, but yeah. Yep.
You're right. Absolutely. That was my 15 minutes of real, true celebrity fame.
Yeah.
That, God, I could not go anywhere without anybody saying, hey, you're the A1 guy, right?
Yeah.
I was in New York on a very dark night. My wife and Mel was opening the box to get the mail out of the box. And I asked for an address. And he looked up and said, oh my God, you're the A1 guy. I said, that's it out. I got to negotiate the contract. I'm getting too overexposed. And
Yeah.
the thing was
For what they put you through, did they at least give you a lifetime supply of A1 sauce?
oh God, I did not want a lifetime supply.
You could give it to me now if you did get it, so I'll take it.
Oh, yeah, I'll give it to you. I could take one guy actually, we were in a restaurant. He walked by the restaurant window, came in about 5 minutes later and put a bottle on my dining room on the table where we were eating.
Yeah.
He said he went next door to the deli and bought a bottle and put it on my table and he got a seat for it. He thought that was the funniest thing in the world. At Disney World. You're the guy. So Joe Dante did a director's cut of the Howling. And he's in the director's cut. He's being talking about different scenes, and he says, and Jim Murtaugh on that scene there where they were eating steak. We're supposed to be werewolves who are reformed. We only eat steak now. We don't eat people.
Yeah.
I was so afraid people were going to say, hey, that's the A1 guy.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, you gotta be careful what kind of food's around you in some of these other movies, I guess.
Yeah, right. Today celebrities do that. It's not a big deal, you know. They don't care if you're the FedEx guy or the Capital. Oh, that's the Capital One guy. Nobody says that anymore. They were so worried about that back then. But
probably more back then because now there's so much information on the internet and all that, and there's so many different things going on that I don't think people lock in for that nostalgia. So even though you're the A1 guy, I mean, those are the things that get your career in the right direction too.
Oh, they absolutely. Yeah. I have no regrets about that conversion.
Yeah. Well, look at John Travolta. You remember the Band-Aid? John Travolta did the Band-Aid commercial and it launched him. So
Oh, he did. Oh, I don't remember that. I don't remember that. A lot of people now you see celebrities all doing them, dying to get them. Well, Jim Gardner, he used to do them. Polaroid. Remember those? Yeah.
I forget who the guy is. Even now, he's had a great career in movies and all that, but he does the insurance commercial. He won that Academy Award for the drumming movie or whatever. So
he won the Academy Award for that. Absolutely. Yeah, it hasn't affected him at all. I went up for that commercial, except I got there late. But they said, "Oh, they'll be seeing you." The door was closed, and I was sitting out there in the waiting room and waiting. They came out and they said, "Oh, Jim, you're here." I said, "Well, yeah." I told them at the desk I was here. Oh, it's already it's casting's over. I said, "Over?" I said, "Geez, you can't see one guy's." Well, it doesn't matter. They're probably going to hire a name out in California.
Yeah.
I was in New York. And I said, "Oh, okay." And every time I see that commercial, I keep thinking, I would have been perfect in that commercial.
Yeah.
Perfect. Everything that he does.
Yeah. Well, you got that similar voice, but you got a good something in your bio. You do voiceovers too. Is that?
I did a lot of voiceovers. I did for a couple of years. I did Ambien. Remember that Ambien drug? It was a sleeping aid.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
And every time I'd go in there, would always be a new disclaimer because there was always somebody that has some effect from
Yeah.
the, they were eating food in the evening and emptying refrigerators and not knowing they were doing that, going for drives in their car, getting in accidents, having no memory of. So I had to come in and read. The disclaimer was actually more than the copy of the commercial.
That's what I said. They do all these disclaimers. Like, why would anybody want to take that?
I know every time you see these, I mean, you really have to need that drug to deal with the side effects,
Yeah.
Because there are so, anytime you take something, that some of the side effects seem to be far worse than the disease supposed to prevent.
You know,
I did.
speaking of your voice. Oh, sorry. I
did a lot of on camera, and I said I got to get out of this. After a while, you get too recognized. So I made a conscious effort to transition into voiceovers, and did a lot of stuff during the .com era, a lot of radio stuff.
Good. Yeah. You have that recognizable voice, and well, that's the good thing. Unless they hear your voice, you probably be able to walk through the streets and not everybody yell out A1 guy or
you don't get yeah, right. You don't get identified with any one thing, which is
or
nice.
silver bullets my ass. I love that line. That's the best.
It's a great line. I know. I try to make sure diversified and just voiceovers, commercials really are the bread and butter, to be honest with you, of actors. I mean, they pay well. They allow you then to do these plays for $8 a week or less. Go off and do a movie, and the star gets most of the money, but even though you're contributing a lot, But if you can balance the commercials and the theater and the film, and you can have a nice career, which I was fortunate to be able to do. You think as an actor of the things you don't get, and then I was going to doing your show, and I thought I better look up, with my resume, and I said, wow, I've done a lot of stuff. It goes back a long ways, we're talking shows like Barney Miller and Alan, and you jump all the way ahead to Law and Order, and there are a lot of things. I can't complain, I can't look back on what I didn't get, so it's been a great career. I was thrilled and grateful to have it. Yes, I'm sorry. You had your hand raised for me. I did.
That's okay. I'm listening. You were talking
to somebody.
I was listening to your voice just now, and I can totally see your voiceover work, but you sound Shakespearean.
Oh, really?
You do. I mean, I hear it. I don't know how to describe it, but your pronunciation and your resonance of your voice. Do you have you worked with Shakespearean acting?
I did do some Shakespeare. Actually, when I first started at the Barter Theater in Abingdon, Virginia.
Okay.
Yeah, we did Hamlet there, and played Rosencrantz. I didn't play Hamlet. That would have been nice. I remember the guy playing Hamlet got very upset one day because he says, "Rosencrantz, Guildenstern, go to Gildenfolk and find out what happened." I said, okay. Okay is not in the Shakespearean lexicon. The guy said, okay. The guy playing Hamlet was livid. Okay. You can't say okay. I'm sorry. It just came out. I'm sorry. I didn't.
Oh, that's so good.
One of my bad ad libs, I guess. Then I belonged to a couple of theater companies in New York, which really helped. So I was able to do those and then go off and do a film and do a movie. And I was able to stay in New York, which was great. That's the main thing. I have a family, I have a couple of kids, and I got grandkids.
Oh, nice.
I didn't have to travel all that much, unless it was for a week or two on a film, and I'd come back, or a TV show. And I could do the plays with these theater companies. They were real companies that we just hired from the company, which was nice. Then I would do plays outside of that, but the companies were kind of an anchor, if you will.
Yeah, exactly. Did you have I know they're all your babies that you're in, and you appreciate all of them. Was there like a favorite role that you had besides being a dad and a grandfather?
Yeah, I was in a movie called The Water's Wild.
Yeah.
As a Hallmark movie, and I had a great role in that. Frank Langella was in the film.
Oh, wow.
The other stars. It was a wonderful movie. And we shot it down in Wilmington, North Carolina,
Mm.
on a plantation. And it takes place on the Gullah Islands, where the African slaves all went to after the war and formed their own community. And I was head of the school district there. And frankly, Jala was also part of it. It was a wonderful movie. So I was very proud of that.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's not one of the Hallmark Christmas movies. So, you don't see it as
Still a Hallmark movie. Yeah.
but, good. And then I did a series that I liked it. It didn't sell. It went for about 7 episodes called Number 96. Sort of a John Ritter character, like Three's Company. Sort of
Oh, okay.
sort of a sex farce kind of thing, but it was too racy for some cities. They actually banned it based on some stupid promo we did for the only supposed to be for the advertisers. Played solely privately in Vegas. Instead, they aired it. We were all sitting around in a hot tub, the entire cast, making these awful comments. Terrible.
Oh no.
We said, well, good old show, and they did. Then everything. Somebody in Boston saw it. They wouldn't show it. Minneapolis wouldn't show it. So it's kind of hard to get renewed if half the country isn't playing your series. So that was great. But anyway, I've had other parts on television that were equally, but that was good I like doing comedy, and that was a very funny show.
Yeah.
Got a chance to. I started out doing stand-up comedy.
Really?
When I came to New York, I didn't have an agent, and I had what am I going to do? And I did it. I went to Marquette. I did stand up there, and I said maybe I'll do that. So I wrote an act before I was working at Vassar, which is an all-girls school, as an actor in residence. And I came in with this act that I wrote, sort of a Bobby Kennedy and Hubert Humphrey. But when I got to New York, unfortunately, Bobby Kennedy was assassinated, and so I had to throw that act out the window. But then I was doing that down at the Village, and then some girls from Vassar came, and they brought a friend of theirs down, and who was a producer at Young of Rubicon. He got me into commercials. And then at the bitter end, where I was working, they called and said, Bill Cosby's putting people on The Tonight Show, young comics. So I went and auditioned for him. They said, come on down. I got on The Tonight Show. And
Nice.
it was great.
Nice.
It was great. I said, well, I don't have to go any further than that. I didn't really want to do nightclubs and stand-up comedy. If I did The Tonight Show, I had about 20 minutes worth of material under I was on The Tonight Show. I said, that was great. Except they because Carson was on vacation, they kept rewriting my act. And they said, put this joke here and that joke here. I said, geez, well, guys, we're going on in an hour. The first time I've been on network television. You got to, stop. Just stop. I said, okay, how about cue cards? No, don't. It wouldn't look good to have cue cards, even though Carson was using cue cards all the time. So I got up there, and Cosby's talking to me, and I got a laugh. He said, well, you're already getting laughs. Why don't you go into your act? I said, okay. So you don't see anything but a bank of lights on The Tonight Show. You don't see the audience at all.
Yeah.
And back then there was a show called College Bowl, and they had competing schools competing against one another. Mine was called Prison Bowl. So I had Sing Sing and Devil's Island. Dr. Everson did a whole tour of Devil's Island. So I did the thing. All right, first question. Well, I got through. First question was a joke. All right, so for 10 minutes extra in the yard, you've been in jail for 20 years. Your wife is there in the yard to greet you. What's the first thing you do? Spike, frisk her. Oh, it's been a long time, hasn't it, Spike? Got a huge laugh. Huge. I mean, I didn't know where it was coming from. Because you don't see anything.
Yeah.
I'm up in my lines. I didn't know where I was. I had no idea. So I got to the second question. Okay, now, all right, now for the next. And I'm fumbling around. And the guy I wrote it with is back in the green room shaking the TV. He said, you've got to come up with some. But once I got over it and ad-libbed, I got through it. But it was I don't think anybody ever said they've been up on network television. So that's my claim to fame.
Yeah.
But the audience loved it. And I never got a copy of it. That's the only thing I regret.
Aw.
I keep thinking of writing Cosby to get a copy.
Yeah. Well, may not answer right now, but
Yeah.
but other than
he gave me a break, and then I later on
exactly, you got to thank people for that, and
I really do. I do.
yeah.
And I went on a show, and I thanked him when I was on it later.
Yeah.
I was on.
You've been on a few comedy shows, even one of my favorites, 30 Rock. So that was a good one with Tina Fey and all them. Yeah.
see that with Jane Krakowski? That was a great.
Yeah. Yeah.
She thought I was the producer of, and they were doing a sketch where I played the producer. She got it done. So she slept with me thinking she wouldn't be fired.
Yeah.
And then they said, he's an extra on the show. What are you doing? Oh God. Baldwin was funny. He and I got along really well on that show.
Yeah.
My son called and he said, "Who are you talking to?" I'm talking to my son. Give me the phone. Give me the phone. What's he telling you? He's telling you on doing it. You know, we're not doing a TV show. We're in a strip club here. The two of us. We're having a great time. He was great. I've known him for a long time, but he was great.
Good. Yeah.
But that was a good. Another one that wasn't a comedy was Madam Secretary.
Yeah.
You ever watch that show?
That's what, Julia Louis-Dreyfus?
No.
Oh no, that was the Veep or whatever.
Yeah.
Madam President.
Madam Secretary.
Madam Secretary. Okay.
Okay.
Can't remember the name. That's a
Morgan Freeman is in it. He's the producer.
Really?
The
I
show.
love Morgan Freeman.
Yeah, Morgan is great.
Yeah.
He was in the scene. So they were replacing the president. They couldn't reach him. He was up there on the plane somewhere with the vice president. So I was next in line to take over until they could communicate with him. And it turned out I thought Ronald Reagan was still the president. So really, so I didn't get it. But it was a funny scene.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, you've been in quite a few things, and just looking at all the different movies you've been in and TV shows and some of the stuff as I'm going through this. But Blue Thunder.
Oh, that was a classic movie. Yeah.
Yeah, another classic that you were in.
Yeah, I think Rob Scheider, what's his name from Jaws was in that.
Roy Schneider. Yeah, he was the head police officer in Jaws. That was 50th anniversary this year for that Jaws movie. Yeah.
Yeah, next January.
Yeah.
That was great. That was a helicopter comes into the city, which after that they never allowed a helicopter to fly that low into the city. They were flying between buildings and everything, right in the heart of downtown Los Angeles.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, that was a classic movie. That was really good. That was a good. Another movie was All the President's Men.
Yep.
That's coming up also. That's. I knew when I did that was a classic film. I knew it was going to last for a long time. It's always listed as one of the top 100 movies ever made.
Yeah.
Alan Pakula's movie, and Hoffman and Redford. And I had a small scene in that, but it was apparently a very important scene because I came in from New York, went up to Washington, Library of Congress, and I think, they're building a scaffold. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, yeah. Wait a minute. That's my office. That's where I was. They were working all day on building the scaffold up to where I was going to be doing the scene so they could put the lights on this scaffold.
Wow.
I thought, oh my God, I didn't expect it to be that important. So now I'm a nervous wreck before I go in. It was my first movie. I'm in DC, 2 big stars. And I said, geez, there's been like hours setting up the scene, the light. I didn't realize how critical it was in the movie, which it was. But it went well. Then just the other day, somebody did a whole story on the librarians at the Library of Congress. They had a picture, real nice picture of me with Hoffman in it.
Oh, nice.
That was
cool.
Yeah.
Is there any other movies like you were in, and as you're doing it, you're like, this is going to be a big movie. This has, potential written all over it.
Well, other than All the President's Men, there were a couple. Yeah, I thought Out of Time with Denzel Washington that I did. I really thought that would be a big hit. It was such a great script to read, and I just watched it again last night with my wife. And boy, it's an exciting movie. It's a thrilling movie. It has a lot of suspense, and he's just wonderful in the film. And we had a scene that was tense but funny in a way. After every take, he'd run out of the room laughing his head off.
That's what you want. That's always, you have that camaraderie on the set and all that. That always makes a better movie. I think
it really does. It really, because each trust each other, and that's so important. Don't feel like you're being criticized or anything like that. So I'd have to go through the list of all the movies, but that one, The Howling, I thought was special while we were doing it. I had a feeling that would stand out in the horror genre. I felt that would that would really click with a lot of people. I just from what they were with Rob Bottin doing all those special effects. It was the first time they'd ever been done in a horror movie. So I had a good feeling about that. Oh, another, which I, to be honest, did not think it would be the hit that it was How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days.
Yeah.
How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days is the most popular movie I've ever done.
Really?
Interesting.
I mean, when people find out that they go, oh yeah, you're the guy. Oh yes. Oh yeah, you're playing that bullshit game. I remember that. Women, younger women. I mean, they want to take their picture with me. I mean, it's such a classic movie with young girls, especially.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
And now older girls, because they're older, but they remember the movie. They remember Kate Hudson. They remember that dress.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, the dress.
Remember that dress? So many girls have, oh, I wore that same dress at my prom or something. You know,
That's great.
It plays all the time. It's like Shawshank Redemption. Matthew McConaughey said,
that's Shawshank, favorite movie.
That's his favorite movie.
Favorite movie of all time. I actually, a few months ago, being in the paranormal, we have a thing, it's called Parapsychon. So it's an event like Salem, and it's at Ohio State Reformatory in Mansfield, Ohio. That's where they filmed the majority of the movie, because the old Ohio State Reformatory. They have a museum inside the reformatory where you could tour, and it's actually the scenes where they had the warden's office is actually there where they filmed. The place where Andy Dufresne was doing the taxes is there. The outside of the building is the still where they filmed the outside shots when the warden was talking and those types of things. But yeah, a lot of nostalgia there. But yeah, I could see, those are like those iconic things where they're still standing that you could go see. I know a lot of the movies you've been in. That there's a lot of those places that people go just to visit, say, hey, that movie was filmed here and all that. So.
Yes, they do. Yeah. None of the movies I've been in, but
there's got to be something. So.
I don't know what other hit movies. You probably have the credits there. I don't have them all in front of me. I don't know what the hell I've done. I've done a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Definitely, as you go through this and how you're saying and recalling a lot of the movies and all that, but just specifically what we have coming up, the Howling's going to be a big draw for us and all that, and for the horror guests, the horror fans and all that. So.
Yeah, I mean, that's a big hit.
Yeah.
Vanilla Sky, I thought when I was in that, I thought that would be a big hit. Tom Cruise was in that.
Yeah, was that both Cruises in it? Was it Penelope Cruz and Tom Cruise, I think?
Yes, right. Yeah. He was great at the audition. I mean, so friendly. And I auditioned, he jumped out of his chair like he likes to do. That was terrific. That was funny. They left one of my 2 scenes in the movie, so it was, it wasn't there. But it was a confusing film. It didn't quite take off like I think everybody hoped it would.
It was a little bit confusing.
What?
Have you ever got to act with like somebody you were like a super fan of that you just couldn't believe it?
Well, I think everybody. I'm not. Well, I did work with De Niro. Yes, I've been a super fan of Robert De Niro. Called a movie called Everybody's Fine.
Oh yeah. Yep, I've heard that movie.
That was a horrific script, also. Horrific script. And De Niro and I worked all day on our scene, all day. I guess maybe because we were the first scene. Even with Denzel, we worked all day on that scene. You see the scene, it's like 5 minutes, but all day. But these studios have that kind of money to do that. But De Niro was great. We didn't chat much. On the way into the studio, I was shooting in Connecticut early in the morning. There was a story on that he had sold his restaurant chain to a company in England called very famous Chinese restaurants chain. And I came in and I said, what am I going to talk to Robert De Niro about? What are we schmooze about? Taxi driver. I liked you, taxi driver. You were so good. So I said, I heard you sold your restaurant chain. He goes, where'd you hear that? How did you know that? Well, it was on the radio. I heard the radio. But he got very serious and leaned over right into my face. How did you know that?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, like I'm revealing some kind of secret information. I heard it from somebody, on on the radio. I said, oh, okay. And that's all he said, okay. And the director gave him one direction. They came over. It was like in the middle of this, the sound guy would like you to speak up. He looks right at him and goes, just nods his head.
Yeah.
Nope, I'm not going to do it. I said, that's when you know you're a star.
Yeah.
When you can do that to the director, just nod your head and go, nope.
They're probably all afraid he was going to whack him or something.
I'd be replaced in a minute. Nope. I'm not gonna do that. And Jim Gardner, of course, he was someone.
Love that guy.
Yeah.
Oh,
We grew up with Jim Gardner,
Oh,
Maverick, and I don't know if you remember
yes.
those were great. And I think here I am working with Jim Gardner. Oh my God. I did 3 of those. They flew us out to Hawaii, second to last episode. I took my wife and my 2 kids, and the baby was only like a month old, maybe 7 or 8 weeks.
Oh,
Wow.
I must be nuts bringing them, but we got a nanny. I used my per diem for the nanny, and the baby stayed in the room with the nanny. And then on the way, they had the closing night party. My wife slipped on the dance floor and broke her leg.
Oh, God.
my gosh.
Broke her leg on the dance floor. And now we were flying on 747s with no runway to the door. You had to walk up the flight of stairs.
Ugh.
747 is like 2.5 stories up.
oh wow.
And she's
Poor thing.
out the cast. They wouldn't set it because we were going back to the States to LA. So she's got it wrapped in something, but it's broken.
Yeah.
How are you going to get up those stairs? I says, I'm taking the kids up. I said, good luck. She said, I'm going in no matter what. She went up the rear end into the. I kept thinking the kids were going to be a problem.
Yeah.
Then my wife breaks her leg, and she went up back on her rear end all the way up.
Oh my God. I assume that she doesn't watch that movie with you anymore with that
No.
reminder.
We should have. The producer actually slipped on the dance floor also and broke her leg. So the 2 of us
Really?
Oh
in
no.
the emergency room.
In
There
the
was-
world.
and there's Alice. The floor was extremely slippery, although she was wearing high heels.
Mm.
And then we got back about 3 days later. Jim Garner's brother knocks on her door in the studio. Says, "Here's Alice's shoes." We never took her. She didn't take those shoes.
Oh my God. That's wow.
I took
Poor thing.
the shoes. He said, thinking you may want to sue the hotel, but if they saw those shoes with those 5-inch heels, you'd have a hard time. So he hid the shoes. So that has evidence that we wouldn't, so if we wanted to sue them, they wouldn't know what kind of shoes she was wearing. They would blame.
Ah, Jesus.
So that was nice of him. But Garner was
Yeah.
great. Garner was great. And the producer, Steve Cannell, was great. He had me on a number.
Oh, yeah. I've heard Steve Cannell. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, he did, what's that series? God, I'm blanking the series.
I think he did a lot of, didn't he do a lot of TV series?
He did a lot of TV series.
Wasn't it like A-Team and all
Yeah.
those?
That's what
Yeah.
it was.
Yeah, the A-Team.
Yeah,
Yeah, he did a lot of those series at the time, especially around that time. What was it like? Mostly his big heyday was like the 80s.
yes,
I think
exactly.
what was that show he did with
He did Baba Black Sheep.
yeah.
Did
I
that.
love that.
Me
Yeah.
too.
I think he did the show, what was it, Renegade with
He may have. Then he
it was
got
like the guy who drove the Indian motorcycle, him and yeah.
then he got into writing.
Yeah.
History writer.
Stephen J. Cannell. I remember they used to always have the at the end credit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that the one where they did the typewriter? They pulled the page off and it flies.
Yeah.
Right.
That
Yeah.
is-
Like
yeah.
that. No. Yeah. Great guy.
I
Except
like that.
he flew me out to Hawaii to do a pilot. We did Rockford there, and I had to drive through the streets of Honolulu. I was a nervous wreck. They had cameras up on either side and getting close up to me, and I'm driving down. And I'm a New Yorker. I don't drive much in New York, so
Yeah.
I'm driving in Honolulu with traffic, cameras mounted on either side. The sound man was on the floor.
Yeah.
But then
He was in the floor.
Yeah.
when
On the microphone up, yeah.
talking back and forth. But they flew me out to Hawaii for a pilot he was doing, and it probably went great. At the end, they had a big party, like a luau, and his wife was across the table as we were getting different foods. And I said, "Oh, you're pregnant," and she turned beet red and said, "No, I'm not."
Oh.
Oh boy.
They said, "Oh, my wife wears that same dress, and she is pregnant. That's why I thought you."
Oh, good save.
Good.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you like some poi?
That's the smoothest recovery I have ever heard.
Never worked for him again after that. I always think that's the reason. His wife said, "You ought to hire that guy again."
Oh my God.
I blew that big time.
Yeah, we've all been in situations like that before. So
Yeah. Who would think I would say something as stupid as that? She's wearing a moo-moo, an Hawaiian moo-moo, and I thought she was. But Alice was pregnant, and she was wearing this thing, so I just put two together. There's I also did one of those video games, Red Dead Redemption. Did you ever
oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah, that's where I thought I'd give it a shot. I've never done that. Hey, would you go down to, so you go to this big studio and they put all these wires on you, and there's people there with a bank of computers, and they're following you and your movements. They use your dialogue also. And then you look at the screen and they're able to draw a whole body around your movements. And, and I'm this grizzly old guy, and it's sort of vaguely looks like me. There was an interesting experience how they do these video games. It's incredible.
It is, because it's just in our world, in the paranormal world, we do have, our paranormal world, we do have devices that kind of do that similar thing, and how they put these characters together. It's called an SLS camera, where it pixelates out little lasers, and it may pick up energy of a spirit, and it looks like a green stick figure, and we ask it to wave at us, and it waves, then we know we might have an audience. So that's like one of those things with that generated. It's almost like a LiDAR type of thing, especially the computer generated stuff, how it picks it up with the little tennis balls all over you. They do sometimes. And yeah,
that's
fascinating. It's kind of the opposite. Yeah.
I've been watching Paranormal the last few weeks. Fascinating things that are on that show. Just incredible.
Well, make sure between now and Saturday when we see you, you go on Hulu and you watch Repossessed. That way you could.
You'll like it.
Yeah, it's very good. It's a paranormal antiques roadshow type of thing. So
really, Repossessed, huh? Okay.
Yep. So it's a roadshow of haunted objects.
Yep, that's her show.
Yeah,
her show. Her show.
What's this?
I'm pointing to her.
We're trying to point to her. It's
me.
Yeah. Oh, your show? Whose show is it? Your show?
Leitreanna's.
Leitreanna's show. Yeah.
Leitreanna's show. Okay, yeah. And you see it on YouTube? Did you say a YouTube video or YouTube?
It's
TV?
Hulu.
It's on Hulu. Yep.
Disney Plus.
Apple TV.
Apple TV. There you go.
Okay. I've had my car repossessed, but I've never seen the show. That's something to experience.
Yeah.
I've had one sort of paranormal experience. My father had a fatal heart attack, and he collapsed, and my mother was there, and she just kept breathing into his mouth, and the fire department came and they got his heart started again, and they took him to the hospital, and it was there, but he was in a coma for like 3 days. And I went to pick up my uncle from Chicago. He's an Irish priest, and so we were all there, and they were just going to give up. They were a few more hours. They were going to check, and they were going to do those pinprick tests. And if he doesn't feel anything, they were going to pull the plug. So I'm driving with my uncle. He said, how's he doing? He's an Irish priest. My whole family's from Ireland. And he said, how's Johnny doing? And I said, well, he's not very good, because they're going to pull the plug if he doesn't feel any sensation. And when they put the pins in his leg, they said, oh. So we get to the hospital, goes there, takes his coat off, doesn't say a word, goes right into my father's room, comes out, and he says, I think John's going to be okay. I said, what? So I go in the room and I say, Dad, I lied. I said, I just got a big TV series. And his eyes open so wide, and he's got all the tubes down his throat. He can't talk. He's looking at me like that. And the nurse is there fixing the curtains. I said, he can hear me. He can hear me. She goes, she didn't see it, so she didn't believe me. I came out and I said to my brother, I said, I think he heard me. So my brother goes in. He comes out crying.
Oh.
And I said to my uncle, I said, what the heck did you do? He says, well, he says, I have this relic. He said, it seems to work. That's all he said. I have this relic, and it seems to work. And boy, we lived for another 6 years. I mean, it was amazing. I mean, I don't know if that had anything to do with it. I have no idea. This is my only connection to that. And then later I got I so believed it. There was another incident in our family where somebody's very sick, and but my uncle had passed by that time. I tried to find the relic. I called and they couldn't find it. Where's this relic at? You latch onto all of that. And you
Well, that's crazy. Were you in Connecticut at the time or no?
was in I was living in Connecticut. I was living in New York at the time.
Okay.
Then I flew back we were in Milwaukee when this happened. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah. My uncle was in Chicago, and I picked him up when he came off the train and drove to the hospital with him. He said, "I have this relic, and it seems to work."
yeah.
So you must
The reason why I asked is we're always looking for those good, crazy ghost stories for
Mhm.
my partner.
Yes.
Charles writes a book, and there are true ghost stories from Connecticut and things that happen to people. The only problem is I ask it because it has to be in Connecticut. So
didn't have it in Connecticut,
Yeah.
unfortunately. No, but I will certainly look for Repossessed. That sounds fabulous.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. We basically study different types of different objects that have paranormal experiences. Not all of them are evil. A lot of them are just great memories. Some of them are holy, but not on the show because they wanted things that were more, frightening. But yeah, I thought they were trying to kill us because it was all so
Yeah.
vibrant. Oh my gosh.
But there are like those relics, just like the one that
Yeah.
your Irish priest relative used. So some of these are relics that have some kind of supposed magic or whatever to them. Don't know, can't explain it.
Really? No
Yeah.
kidding.
Mhm.
That's amazing. Are demons bad? Are they evil? Or have
For
you?
me being a demonologist, and a lot of people argue with me about this, but after 40 years of doing this, really, a lot of people look at it as fallen angels, but they're more of a warning. A lot of things have changed over the years. They're almost like an omen or a warning. Some of them are just pains in the butt, but they're a warning to us sometimes that we're not on the right path. And sometimes people don't like to be told those things. So over the years, they've been vilified for some of them. And most of the time it's just us. It's our own thoughts that we manifest into existence. Like if you were an alcoholic, you have that battle with alcoholism, trying to keep it at bay. So those are the types of things. So 1% of the time, it's something of supernatural nature that we deal with.
I see.
Yeah.
Now you
Can I
say
show y'all something that I found? He was talking about that TV series that
Evil?
no, the
No,
other
Evil
one
was great.
that didn't get here. Anyway, look at this. This is why they didn't get it on there.
oh my God, where did you get that?
I just looked for it this entire
Yeah.
time and I finally found it.
That's
There it
amazing.
is. Yeah.
I know. It was, but
I couldn't make it any better, but I was like, he'll like to see
So,
that.
so Gwen, you're gonna have to print that out and get it glossy so he could sign it for you on Saturday.
Yes,
Yeah.
I was thinking about that.
Oh,
Yes.
that's really cool.
Here's a few more. Hold on.
Yeah,
So I
he's
remember-
got some, but I thought that one was different. See,
I was
There's one. Gwen found that one.
Yeah.
And then we've got this one.
Oh
And
yeah,
I love that one.
yeah. That's a great picture.
And
Yeah.
look at that. That's
That-
a really intense one.
Yeah, that's with De Niro. Yeah. Oh, and that's the play I did based
oh,
on
nice.
the Triangle Shirtwaist Factory fire. It was happened in 1912. It revolutionized everything, all the safety procedures in workplaces.
Wow.
These girls all died from the fire that was there. They had no way to get out because they locked the door. They were always checking their purses to see if they were stealing thread and pieces of clothing and
Oh,
stuff.
for Pete's sake.
Yeah, these were all immigrant girls coming from Russia, I think, and Ireland,
Wow.
places like that. Many of them jumped out of the window of the 17th floor. So
Oh.
it was a horrible story.
Well, it's the thing is you learn about some of these movies and TV shows you've done based off of true. Have you ever gone back to research even more? I know you research for your character, but has anything caught your attention? It's like, dude, I need to look into this a little further, like his story wise and all that, just like you just talked about.
Yeah. I never really went to any location. I'm trying to think. you know, I mean, on my own, you know,
Yeah.
checking it out, you know.
There's an opera house near where I live, and the Bridge Boys performed there, and they were taking pictures because it's a very historic opera house, and they have a picture of a ghost in the back that's one of the legends of the place.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was wondering if you ever had anything like that to just, wow, what is that? Pop out, and because you've been in theaters and you've filmed so many places all over the
Yeah, I
all
know.
over the world.
Yeah, I've been in a lot of those grand Broadway. I've done 4 or 5 Broadway shows and been in a lot of those beautiful turn of the century Broadway theaters. And you can almost sense, you really just sense the history and and you see the pictures and the people that have performed there over the years.
Exactly.
And there's something emanating from that space, something, you can feel it. There's a real,
Mhm.
no
Well, they
question.
do. They revere it. Just like you said, they revere it to the point where every theater that's still in process of working has the ghost light that they put on at night to make sure that good luck comes upon all the actors and the actresses. And
That's right.
that's still tradition. They still do it today. It's been going around for years.
Yeah, that's what they call it, the ghost lights in the center
Yeah.
of the stage. Yeah, to keep them all, keep some light on for the ghosts that are still there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know,
Yes, I
I've
like
been in
that.
theaters where the Barrymores have performed, and some of the greats, and plays about the greats. And
Yeah. We just did an investigation over the weekend. Charles and I do investigations where we bring patrons to teach them how to do paranormal research properly, and we take them to famous locations. We're at a place called the Ansonia Opera House. It's over 100 some odd years old. But back in the day, the opera houses, of course, were on train tracks nearby. They would have a hotel and an opera house, and this is how all the performers would go. And Houdini performed there. So you have those types of people, and all the famous singers at the time, and so it's
did you go there and do a exploration?
Yeah, we took patrons pay to come with us, and we teach them how to research properly. And there was a lot of activity there, but a lot of these places do have activity because you think about it. Just like you said, people revere the theater. They go. It's not only the performers that put all their all into it, to put all their energy into performing, but also the audience and how much they love watching it. So even in passing, in theory, a lot of them do still go wanting to see a show, even in the afterlife. And there's a lot of activity coming in and out. So,
Wow, fascinating. That's incredible.
Have you ever wanted to investigate?
Yes, actually, I would love to do that sometime. Yeah.
Oh, we'd love to take
See,
you.
there's a few people in this little squirt, here that would definitely take you.
yeah.
I think we've got the hookup for you. I
I
really do.
Oh, that
Well,
would,
Jim, you're in Connecticut. I know I'm in Cleveland now, but a lot of what Charles and I do, we do a lot of investigations for patrons in the Connecticut area. The last one we kind of did, of course, the Ansonia Opera House. But before that, probably near your Woodbury, Connecticut, we did the Glebe House. So
what's the name of the house?
the Glebe House, Glebe. So that's been around since mid 1800s.
Okay.
So there's a lot of history there and all that. So yeah,
I've been to the Goodspeed Opera House.
that's a good one.
Yeah, hotel right across the street. Just
Yeah.
like you said, there's a hotel, the train tracks, and the theater. So you do things at the Glebe. In
Yeah,
Woodbury?
the Glebe House was the one like just recently because there was a lot of activity there. My partner, who's a shaman like myself, like the camera I was telling you about, the SLS camera, where it picks up spirit energy and it looks like a stick figure and you could kind of communicate. But her being able to sense things, we had a skeptic with us. We like to have the skeptics with us, hopefully give them an experience to change their mind. But he was holding the camera.
Yeah.
And, Stacia, my significant other, she said she feels a little boy tugging at her pants.
Really?
And she says, let me go sit down on the stairs here. Maybe he'll join us. She sits down, the guy's pointing the camera, and a little stick figure appears on her leg like it's swinging his legs, like he's enjoying sitting on her lap.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Now you
So-
say figure. What is it? What is it comprised?
Well,
of?
when this SLS camera, how it works is an old Xbox 360 Kinect system. What it does is in the old days when people would play this video game, they didn't need a joystick or anything like that. It's just their body movement. So the system pushes out little lasers like a LiDAR which is like detects movement and all that, and it detects energy, you know, so they knows it's somebody playing the game. Well, people in the middle of the night are playing this game really late at night, and player 2 pops up, and there is no player 2. So us weirdos said, hey, let's make a system out of this. So a guy named Bill Chappell puts this together. And what it is as you're pointing the camera and you're looking through the you know, iPad or whatever you have,
Yeah.
you could be pointing it, but it has, you know, where you could see in the dark and all that. You'd be pointing in the dark, but you have a screen where you could see what's there, so you know it's not an actual person. And then a green stick figure forms, and it's kind of moving around.
Yeah.
And what we would do is say, hey, if that's you, if you're there, can you raise your hand? And the stick figure raises its hand. Then we know we might have a spirit that we could try and communicate with and see if we could get their story to maybe help them along or whatever they want to do.
Hey, Tom, I've got a photo to show you. So
That's
maybe
incredible.
Yeah.
Jesus.
So that's like a picture of one of the stick figures, how it forms.
Oh,
So-
really?
yes, see where it says tracking there. That's just to illustrate. See, there's no one there.
Yeah.
And you can see where it's mapped out the arms and head and
Yep.
leg in a stick figure form.
Yep.
It's
Yeah.
moving. This is just a still photo, but it's moving. So you can interact.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And a lot of them do have a lot of movement. What happens is in the spirit world, they feel like they're trying to manifest. So it's almost like it's coming in and out of our dimension. So it's kind of doing this, and the camera's trying to pick it up at the same time. So it gets very glitchy. It looks like they're dancing most of the time. So we try and get to the point where some of them, they're sitting in a chair. You could see them sitting in a chair, but we always want to make sure that it's not just mapping the chair with some energy behind it. So we ask it to move its hands or legs. When it
Yeah.
does that, then we know we might have something. So it's a lot of discernment when you do these types of things.
And what's the name of the camera again that you're using?
It's a structured light sensor camera. It's called the SLS camera. So there's a bunch of different kinds, but we have our friend, one of my friends, I'll plug his
Structured light.
structured light sensor camera. Yeah.
Yeah.
One of our good friends, Dave Giuliano, owns a store where you could get all kinds of this type of equipment to do these types of things. So it's the Ghost Hunter store. So he's out of the Philadelphia area. So yeah.
Okay.
Would you like for me to bring mine so that you can see it at the Paracon?
Yeah.
And-
Yeah. Bring it.
Yeah.
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 Okay,
Yeah. I'd love to see it. Yeah, absolutely.
we'll bring our equipment and you can.
Will I see a
go through
stick
it all.
or not, or just the camera? Just bring the
Well,
camera.
if we point it at a person, you'll be able to see them mapped out. But if there's
yeah.
nobody next to them and it maps out, then hey, it might be a ghost at the Salem Paracon with us.
Okay. I love it. I would
He's
love
like, I don't know about these people.
Yeah, we are
Well-
crazy.
You never know. You might end up in a movie where it's about this stuff, and then you already have your research done already.
it. Yes, I know. I would have. Yeah, I'll film like. Yes, I would be doing more research with people like yourselves. Yeah,
Yep.
in a film like this. There was a movie I did called Abandoned. Did you see it with about an apartment? It was an interesting premise. It was a high-rise building that was abandoned, but they had to keep an eye on it. So they had this girl signs up to be a night watchwoman there.
Oh, okay.
The bowels of Jason Patrick is in it. In the bowels of the building, she's an alcoholic. She's got a lot of emotional problems. So we don't know if she's vigilant, but there are people living in the bowels of this abandoned apartment building. And it's fascinating, but it didn't also do very well.
Yeah, I've heard the name and all that. Yeah, it's like I watch so many movies, and sometimes I forget that I saw the movie, and then I start watching. It's like I already seen this, or maybe I didn't. Maybe it was in some other,
Maybe, yeah.
one of a lifetime. I'm a deja vu movie watch.
Doing what you do you guys go to a lot into the horror films, or is that a whole different genre? There must be some similarities there, right? Connections.
Well, for me, growing up in Connecticut, I started doing this back when I was 14, 15 years old. I'm still doing it, 40 some odd years later. You grow up and you're sensitive to all this stuff and you don't know what it is. It gets kind of scary. And I was lucky enough to live in Connecticut and got to meet Ed and Lorraine Warren, who, all their cases were done with the Conjuring movies and all that, and the Amityville they were part of. But I learned how to, deal with that through them. But yeah, You know, that's the biggest thing. Part of the paranormal is just learning from each other and all. So,
Sure. Okay. I understand. That's interesting.
yeah.
Well, I'll be looking forward to seeing all these wonderful guests you have lined up.
Yeah. I know they're all going to be excited to meet you too, my friend.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Oh, really? Oh,
Oh, yes.
we're going to go to Concord the night before.
Oh,
And
good. There's a lot of history there. So
yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
thought. Yeah. So we'll make a weekend out of it. So it'll be nice.
Yeah.
Good.
And we'll go
It'll be
into
excellent.
we'll stay in Salem Saturday night.
Yeah. A lot of history in that Boston,
Yeah.
Salem area. So,
Yeah. Was it Little Women? What's her name? That Alcott, or Lisa May Alcott.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Exactly.
So Nathaniel Hawthorne.
Yeah.
So yeah, that'll be fun. I'll be seeing all of that in
You
Salem.
get to go see the houses and all that. Yeah. So we're
Yeah, I've never seen it.
Hawthorne and all that. Yeah.
Yeah. It'll be a lot of fun.
Fantastic. So,
Looking forward to it.
yeah. Well, we're excited to see you. I think we're rolling to the end of the hour here.
Oh,
And,
Yes.
it flies by, Jim, and we
Yeah.
so appreciate you coming on and sharing some of your memories, and
Yes.
especially of course, the theme of our show is serial killer, supernatural murders. Just talking about the crime shows that you were on, just the horror stuff, and just your life in general is amazing. And we can't wait to meet you in person at Salem Paracon. Again, anybody, you're going to still get tickets, salemparacon.org. And make sure you join us and get an autograph from Jim, and that way he could say "silver bullets my ass." So and, make sure you're in for that.
Yes.
Exactly. Well, thank you guys for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Thank
All right,
you.
appreciate you, my
So
friend.
much.
Have a good night. We'll see you soon.
See you soon, very soon. Take care now. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. There we go. I pulled him down for you.
Yeah,
Awesome.
there you go.
He's
That was
cool,
awesome.
y'all.
He
Yeah.
is so charming. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
What a history, what a humble guy too.
Yes.
That's the big thing. Some of these industries and all that we're in, and people forget that, hey, we're just all doing some work here. There's enough work to go around. Let's do our thing. Let's have fun doing it, especially this weekend at Salem Paracon. Like-minded people to talk about our weird stuff in a safe place. Horror actors to talk about all the cool horror movies they've been in, or any movie in general. Yeah, that's what it's all about.
It
Just
is.
sitting back, having a nice weekend of getting to meet paranormal peeps, the horror guests, and especially later on that night, we get to go hang out at the Satanic Temple and investigate there with some of the best investigators in the industry. Even though that night, Gwen's going to be with us, of course, right?
Yes.
I just found that out today. So
Yeah,
I was like,
Woo!
Gwen is she's one of our special investigators for the night. So
Bless
she's
you.
Yes.
she's on the payroll for the night, so she's got to earn her pizza. But yeah. And the main mediums, or the official mediums, have been decided that it's of course our friend Lee right here above us. She'll be one of them, and of course Stacia Wills.
Yes.
So
Our
you get to
girl.
find out what a Mulfor is all about, and that's going to be very exciting. And it's going to be a night, Shaman and the Showman at a location. Really, guess what? Nobody's really investigated it. So this is what we call fresh energy, where there's
Yes.
not hopefully be any of that residual from people that, come over and over again. So we don't know what we're going to get. So this is going to be unprecedented. It's going to be exciting. I know a lot of the special guests have signed up to, come to the investigation. I know the Radicals will be there. So that's going to be fun to investigate with them also. So we're excited and try a lot of different experiments, and we're going to see what's going to happen. So a few tickets left, but we want to make sure that we get enough people coming up to Salem State University, South Campus, and have a good time with us. Again, let's weird out for the weekend. That'd be great.
And stop by and talk to all of us. Say,
Yeah.
hey,
Yes.
just say, hey.
please.
Everybody will talk to you. Nobody's.
Yeah.
Yeah. Talk to
Well,
everybody.
exactly. From our guest a few weeks ago, James Stokes, he'll come sit there and talk to you. Where else can you say that? Hey, I got to hang out and talk with Jason Voorhees. So, you know, you don't get that many where in this, it's a nicer, quieter environment. So you get more time with a lot of the guests, get to pick their brain about any questions that you have. We always like to keep it, you know, personal for people when we do our events and, you know, get to hear, you know, these panels of people that have been in the industry for a while that get to talk and they all have something to say. So this is something you'll be able to learn and all that. And of course, I just saw it pop up. Christine Marie, her daughter, and Kylie, and what was it, Allison Jacobson, I think it was, and
Yeah.
they're going to be the official photographers for Salem Paracon. So they'll be snapping your picture. Just make sure you smile for them when they're coming around. And she always does some great work. You know, Allison, I'm meeting for the first time, but I've seen some of her stuff, so it's all amazing. I'm very excited to have them. And Christine, just so you know, I got the press passes for you. They came in and got the lanyards all ready to go, and we're going to official for the weekend, so it'll be fun. So, and ready to go with that.
Well, that was a great night, a great interview. What a lovely man.
Yes.
I may fangirl. I may.
Yeah.
Because Law and Order guys, the
Yeah.
howling. I mean, dang.
I don't know. I wonder if I don't know. I think he'll laugh because he was on the show with us once he sees me. I might have to get a bottle of A1 sauce and have him sign it for me. So, yeah.
He's gonna be like,
Yeah, he's gonna this. But the thing is once he gets to know me, he's gonna know I'm a joker. You know, I love that stuff because when if I really like you and I care about you, I will mess with you. So, and
yeah.
it's all out of love. That's what I do. If I don't say anything to you, then I'm probably still trying to get to know you or something. But if I'm messing with you and laughing with you and all that, you know, that's my way of saying I like you.
So, but here's the real question: are you going to open the bottle?
I don't know. I might. I know after that, he's probably going to want a really nice cut of steak to sign that thing. So we might have to try it out on a piece of steak. So, yeah.
I eat it on my burgers. I love
Yeah.
it.
She does.
Yeah.
There's Matt.
Oh yeah.
That, yes.
I would put it on everything. It doesn't matter. It's just the taste of it just so good. So.
Mhm.
And the funny thing is I think I don't remember what it was. I think it was that sauce. Was it A1 or whatever? And I forget what was going on. I think one of the wars was going on. I think it was when A1 sauce came about and said, oh yeah, the country's, it might have been the Civil War. Oh yeah, we're all killing each other, but I think I'll invent some A1 sauce or something. So
Well, they had to put something on the food to make it taste better.
I know.
Doing the best they could.
Yeah. A lot of that stuff would spoil in between and they get all sick and all that. But yeah, that's probably why we have a lot of the Civil War ghosts still around in Gettysburg and places like that. So
it says A1 sauce originated in the 1820s when Henderson William Brand, he's a chef. Chef to Britain's King George the Fourth created it with the king allegedly proclaiming it A1.
Yeah, nice.
That's
A number one.
There you go. That's where it comes from.
So I had said that I was going to tell you a little bit and our viewers about the investigation that our team and students did together.
Nice.
I've just got a little thing because you were talking about the SLS camera. We went to a library that was previously a prison. It was a prison and someone was executed there and buried not far away. Okay, so tell me what you think of this. We're upstairs in the library.
It said that he was hung in the jail.
Can you wave at me?
Do you remember the time of year?
Stop now. Slow down and throw your hand up at me.
Hey, can you, when you go out to your office, can you
Here we go.
big conference?
Hi.
There's a big, thick old book store.
So
cool.
the lady that's the librarian was talking to my husband about that was actually upstairs was where the prisoners were kept. It was the jail.
Oh, okay.
And
Wow.
then the warden and his family lived downstairs. It was a very small jail. But I just thought you might like to see it because it's just like you described. He was blinking in and out.
Yeah.
He was phasing, and he was trying to hold him. You could see he was trying to manifest himself.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you're
Blaine,
talking about something supernatural trying to come through, and you have a man-made technology, and they're all trying to mesh up frequency-wise or whatever they're doing, and it creates that jagged movement like they're dancing and
Yeah.
doing the jig or whatever. But as you really discern, just like on a spirit box where you have to really hear underneath and all that, it's the same thing with an SLS camera. You have to really discern it because, you know, a lot of times, even the best ones, you have to see how it maps out. And we had some false positives at Ansonia Opera House. We had, you know, a piece of equipment on top of one of those sawhorses, and it mapped out the sawhorse kind of to look like a body. But when you have the energy there in something that looks like a body, it can manifest. So that's when you have to move it. So we moved it back, and you could see how the stick figure got smaller, and you moved it back, and it was more tighter and looked like the sawhorse. So you know that's what it was.
Yeah.
Those are the
Yeah.
things you have to do. You can't just think just because the green stick figure pops up. So we have to do everything in a 360 view to make sure we try everything to make sure that's what it is. You know, and that's always the best way to do it. And you really have that open communication to see if it'll move. But then again, like something like station I had at the Glebe house where the little boy, she felt him, and then it was validated with the piece of equipment, and he was sitting on her lap swinging his legs. And that same night we had the SLS camera on one of the old, because we're talking a house from like 1700s and all that, and they had where they would spin to make the yarn. So they had the big spinner, and you have to sit on it and pump it and all that. And there was a stick figure on it doing the pumping.
Oh,
It was
wow.
like it was working and all that. So that was a good place. A very there might be something in the works going on there in the future. So we'll keep that
Nice.
quiet for now. A project is in the talks right now.
And
So
you know
hopefully
the
that
theater,
goes through.
the
what?
theater I told you about. There was
Yeah.
a guy that was there.
You
Mhm.
guys, I'm gonna say I love you. I got to pop over to Raven, and he.
Yeah,
has to-
because I got to go to Raven too. So we might have to. Yeah.
Well,
you guys-
I'll just
I'm gonna-
finish the
I'm gonna pop
sentence and we'll go. Okay.
Yes.
Go ahead,
But
finish.
there was a spirit that was at the edge of the seats into the theater area, and he
Yeah.
was standing there taking tickets.
Oh,
Yeah.
And I said, "Do you want my ticket?" And he reached his hand out and got it, and then he turned around
Yeah.
and sat down.
that
That's
is
so cool.
awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I think there's a portal there. So,
Nice.
okay, well, that's all for tonight. Thank you for watching Serial Killers, Supernatural and Murderers.
Yes.
Enjoyed having James Murtaugh, the one and only,
Yes.
on this show. Please come see us in Salem.
That's right.
All right, thank you. Have a great
All right,
night,
see you soon.
everybody.
Good night.
Thank you, everybody.
Here.